Alright, guys. Completely forgot and got into my emotions there for a bit. Actually, I did not. I did not. Those are just this would again be me explaining my actions and what I was trying to do. But actually, that was just me finally being able to talk about something that is on my mind, that does take space in my mind, because this is something that I'm really absolutely passionate about, absolutely curious about. And when I'm curious about things, I care about things. When and this is my field of work too. I am a part of it, and I'm as much a part of it as anybody else. These are things that I'm trying to uh, these are like affirmations that I give myself. I'm trying to reaffirm myself that I am, so that I do not feel like an imposter. Uh, but yeah, these are things that I'm passionate about, and kind of went into that space for a bit. But yeah, our segment is zooming in and out of things. You need to take this damn zoom lens, this lens that you want, and you need to put it on training, the aspect of training. You need to zoom in and out. That's when you'll understand that bodybuilding might have a place in your training, and sometimes it does have. You need to pack on muscle. It always helps. It's just more, if you train the correct way and you are accountable for whatever mass you're packing on. If you are accountable, if you're responsible enough, it can actually be a game changer. It can, in terms of like rate of force development and all, having on more muscle that you can actually use, that you actually have good RFD and whatever attributes that you need in those muscles. It's a great idea to pack on more muscle if you do it the right way. But so there is a place for muscle building in fitness, but fitness is not muscle building. So if we take this down, guys, you guys need to take this damn lens. You need to zoom out, and you need to understand that there is more to fitness. That you can just simply think about whatever it is that you're trying to do. You could be a dancer, you could be an athlete, you could be an athlete in any sport. You could be an adventurer. You could be even somebody. You could be a teacher. That's a damn demanding job, really hard job, man. When I think about it, like entire days, 10, 12 hours worth of climbing up and down stairs, going places, talking the entire day long, probably dehydrated, probably having no idea what they're doing with their nutrition and all. For them, training simply becomes thriving, understanding how to thrive in that lifestyle. How do you thrive there? Right now, teachers just almost kind of survive in that lifestyle. They do the best that they can. Don't get me wrong. They always do the best that they can, but they kind of just surviving. I don't see teachers. You will have teachers that are thriving, but how many times do we see a teacher that trains for it, that trains for that lifestyle, that trains to have a body and mind and soul that can thrive in that lifestyle, and not take the negative impacts of having such, honestly, what is a selfless duty, selfless job, where you're just constantly always caring about others, always giving care to others, and at your own expense, to be really honest. So, that was like a quick deep dive into the world of teaching and what they could train for. For them, training could just become doing whatever it is to get their body and their mind in that zone, having the best nutrition strategy possible to tackle that kind of a lifestyle. You could be an air hostess, you could be a pilot. I've trained a pilot. Those guys have crazy. I've trained with a couple. Pilots have a crazy, absolutely crazy lifestyle. How do you get those guys to stay fit? They can easily tell you that I work 16 hours in a day. Sometimes I'm landing, and this from like hearing personal anecdotes about like guys that I'm absolutely fascinated by what they do at such a young age. Some of these guys are landing multiple. When I say multiple, I'm not saying two. Multiple flights in every single day. They're being called into work at erratic hours, and you tell them, how do you train, or how do somebody like you get a training session in, and they look at you like, I don't know, this is what life is right now. I can't. There is an answer for them. There is for sure an answer for them. When you understand that training is a blank canvas, until you have the system in place, until you have all those data points in place, there is an answer for everything, because that answer can be changed, can be modulated, can be constructed around your system. If the only answer that we have is bodybuilding, then of course it will not make sense for a pilot to work erratic hours, work like 16, 18 hours a day, and then do what? Then go into the gym and bodybuild for what? When you think about it like that, it doesn't make sense. But let's say if you tell them that the 1 hour, the half hour, that the 1 hour or the half hour every other day, that if you do decide to invest into your training, it will be for training you to thrive in whatever circumstances that you've been thrown into, training you to thrive, training for your body and your metabolism and your physical, physiological, mental attributes to thrive in your line of work and not have your line of work get the worst of you. Training could be that. Training could be anything that you want training to be. A gym could be anything that you want a gym to be. You just have to understand that it is a blank canvas. You have to think of these spaces as a blank canvas. You have to think of your training as a blank canvas and not correlate it to bodybuilding right from the get-go. Do it later on when you do understand that you have a clear goal of bodybuilding, if that is actually what you want to do. But when you have other things to get done, when you actually start out with other things that you wanted to get done, you want to get in shape for you. Actually, sometimes you will not even know what you want to get done. That's another category of people. There we have a whole bunch of people. We have a whole bunch of different people with a bunch of different ideas, with a bunch of different things that they need, with a bunch of different circumstances that they suffer through, that they could be thriving through, honestly. And the answer could be customized like that, accordingly. But sadly, the only answer that we have right now is bodybuilding, and it's on us. It's on us to understand, to think of gyms and think of training as blank canvases and not directly correlate them to training. And when you have this blank canvas, then you start writing these things down. Where am I right now? What is it that I'm trying to get done? What's the visual image? What's the end goal that I'm trying to achieve? What am I doing good? What do I know for sure that I can do good? Where am I? What are my strengths? What is limiting me? What are my weaknesses? Where am I falling short? When you have these 4 points, it's like drawing 3 edges of a square. You're on that final piece of how to get there, how to get this thing done. That's the line that you have to figure out how to fill. That's where coaches, that's where gyms, that's where these empty blank canvases are supposed to come in. That's where training comes in. To answer these 3 other things, where you are right now, where you want to be, what's the visual end image, where are you falling short, what are your strengths? These 4 things of the pentagon of the 5 points, these 4 lines are already connected. Connecting these things anybody can do it. It does not take a coach. It does not take for you to hire a coach to get these 4 points sorted. Think about these things first. Then go out, hire a coach, then go to a gym, then figure out what your training is supposed to be, fill up that 5th line, have the best damn time of your life in training. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.